What's up, YouTube? Sean from Jive Ass Turkeys here. Sorry it took a little bit of time for me to bring you my deck profile, but football really bogs me down during the week because huge football fan. I'm a Ravens fan, hence why I have this purple. Also, purple's my favorite color. And yeah, I've got you guys a deck profile here. I was waiting for some cards also. So this is my zombie deck. It is currently the deck that I am running for tournaments. I really like it, and let's get right into it. So we start off with two plague spreaders. Three's cloggy. I like two plague spreaders, and you have ways of bringing it back, so it's good. Next you run three Mizukis. Mizuki's great. Monster Reborn, Banisher from Graveyard, special summon any zombie regardless of level. So great card. It's at 3, run it at 3. Next we have three Destiny Hero Malicious. That's how you get into your rank 8 or your level 8 synchros. Great card. Next you have two Zombie Masters. Some people only choose to run one. I like two. Opens up more rank 4 plays, even though you don't run too many rank 4s, but also opens up synchro plays if you absolutely need it to. So great card. I like it. You only run two because you want to see it more. Next you have two Goblin Zombies. Searcher the deck when it leaves the field. Get a zombie from your deck to your hand with 12,000 less defense. I mean, you're rarely going to be attacking with this guy, but when you do, you get to mill the top card of your opponent's deck, which can be good. So next we run two Necrofaces. Recycling your engines, you want to recycle your Maliciouses and possibly even your Plague Spreaders and your Mizukis, so great card. I really like it. That's it for the zombie monsters. Now we have three Tour Guide from the Underworld. Tour Guide, you want it because you run three because you want to see what the helicopter's passing by. My bad for that noise there, but yeah. So three Tour Guides. You essentially run three because you want to see it, and you want to get into Levier, your main XZ of the deck. Next for some one-of monsters, Night Assailant, extra Tour Guide target. Also, you can set it if you absolutely have to. And lastly, as a proxy, I do have the card. I did leave it with my friend. I had to get it sometime soon, and that is a Dark Greffer. If you don't know what Dark Greffer does, you can drop a level 5 or higher Dark Monster from your hand to special summon it to the field. And then while he's on the field, you can drop another Dark Monster to send a Dark Monster from your deck. So really good card. Helps you thin out your deck and helps you set up your graveyard. You got people choose to run Armageddon Knight. I don't like because you just got to sit with a 1400 beater, and he's stupid expensive for what he does. But I personally like Dark Greffer. So that is it for the monsters. It should be 19 monsters, I think. Next we have spells. Let's go start off with two Book of Life. Book of Life is great. It's Monster Reborn, except you get to banish one from your opponent's graveyard also. So pretty great. Next we have two Zombie World. Zombie World's awesome, comboed with Book of Life and your extra deck. So, and it screws up your opponent's plays because it makes everything on the field and in their graveyard zombies. So really great card. Also, with the two Zombie Worlds, you run two Super Polymerizations. I love the Super Polys in the deck. Some people choose to run Dragon's Mirrors. If you don't know why, I'll show you when we get to the extra deck. But this card is awesome with Zombie World. And if your opponent has two monsters on board, you got nothing. Super Poly with their monsters, and you get a free awesome fusion that you'll see in a little bit. Next, with your general spells that you need, two Mysticals. Some people choose to run three. I like two. Hat's kind of losing popularity with Shaddoll's and stuff out, so Mystical Space Typhoon is good. Gets rid of Macro, Defissure, all that stuff. One of spells, we got Dark Hole, Foolish Burial, and for the second and last proxy of the deck, Burial from a Different Dimension. Great card. Can turn 3 Mizukis into 6 Mizukis, can turn 2 Plague Spreaders into 4 Plague Spreaders, whatever you need. This card is awesome. That rounds it up for the spells. I think there's 11 spells, which leaves 10 traps. It's a 40 card main deck. Alright, traps. General stuff. Really, for the most part. 2 Deep Res. Deep Res is good. For the most part, you don't really need Mirror Force or a third Deep Present or something like that. Generic removal. You want to anything you really don't want on the board with this deck. If you're not going to be attacking over it, you probably want it banished. You probably don't want it in the graveyard. You probably don't want your opponent touching it anymore. So 2 Deep Res. You can side in the third if you want. Next you're on 2 Fiendish Chain. I like Fiendish Chain because there is some slow hands with this deck. I chose to run the more explosive variant of it. This deck is super fast. You can drop 3 level 8 synchros in 1 turn if you're good enough. Great card. Can be swapped for Breakthrough Skill if you need it, but I tend to just like Fiendish Chain. Next we have 2 Trap Stuns. Helps you go off. You don't want to be getting torrentials or anything like that, so Trap Stun's great. And next for the one of traps, we got Solemn Warning, Compulsory Evacuation Device, Phoenix Wing, Wind Blast. I'll go into this card once I finish up with the bottomless. Alright, so Phoenix Wing, Wind Blast, great card. It's essentially a second Compulse, except you spin it to the top of their deck rather than their hand. And what I like about it, it lets you drop one of the cards from your hands. And, like, you know, some people might think that's bad or, like, really situational. You want a Plague Spreader or Malicious or something in your hand to drop. Most of the times you will have one of those cards that you want to drop. Or, honestly, whenever you need to use it, it's just good. So, sets up your graveyard, helps you do a lot of mean things to your opponent. So, yeah, Phoenix Wind Blast, great card. I think that's 10 traps, so that rounds up the main deck. That should be a 40-card main deck. Let's move on to the extra deck. It's mostly generic rank 8s, but we're going to start off with 2 Beals. Beals is awesome, can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and he gains attack from based on the difference of attack or damage you take from card effects. Awesome card, really great, good to sit on or push for game. Next we have Void Ogre Dragon. I like Void Ogre, helps you go off, you know, just really good card. Stop spells and traps, if you don't know. Next we have Dark End Dragon, helps you get rid of monsters that you don't want on the field by sending them to the graveyard rather than destroying them, so that's pretty awesome. Next we have Scrap Dragon, pretty good combo with Scrap Dragon and Beals, target Beals, and a card they control, free destruction, because Beals can't be destroyed. And then lastly for the level 8s, Crimson Blader. Crimson Blader, you know, slows your opponent down, like completely stops Lightsworns if they leave a monster on board. Same thing with Shadalls, so pretty awesome card. That rounds it up for the level 8 synchros. Next, we have level 6 synchros. You don't go into these as much. You use them when you can't get another Malicious out onto the field, or if you kind of just want to. So we're going to start off with my favorite, Revived King Hades. Revived King Hades, what he does is, when he destroys a monster by battle, its effects are negated. So, if you don't see where that's going, it's attack into your face down. Oh, it's a hand, doesn't matter. Oh, it's a flip effect monster, doesn't matter. Its effect doesn't go off. Revived King Hades, great. Next is Doom Kaiser Dragon. Very situational card, you rarely need to bring him out, but when you do, your opponent's mad at you because he lets you take something from their graveyard that they might want. Like a JD, or a Construct, or a Winda, anything that they don't want on your side of the field, essentially. So, Doom Kaiser Dragon, awesome, and easy to make. And then for the last one, HTS Behemoth. It's another thing to like kind of springboard off of into level 8 if you need it, but also it banishes their monster if you want to attack with it. Also forces your opponent to play around it too, if you want to just leave it on board. Next we have your 2 fusions in the form of 2 Dragon Necro Nether Soul Dragon. Awesome card, 3000 beater. Only requires 2 zombie type monsters, so now you see why I have the super polys in here. Poly with their monsters, get a 3000 beater. And he doesn't destroy monsters by battle, like it's his effect, he can't do it, but he summons a token with their attack, so after he makes their attack 0, so it's awesome. So essentially it's free 3000 hit on your opponent, if you can get it off, but it tends to go through. And then for the XYZ portion, you don't really go into the XYZ that much unless you need to go into this guy. Levier, awesome, lets you special summon back your Plague Spreader after it banishes itself back, or a Mizuki if you want it. Honestly, anything that's banished that's level 4 or lower, so lets you get it back. Next we have Zen Mains, Stall if you need it. I actually go into Zen Mains a lot when I open a Tour Guide and nothing else, so Tour Guide and then bring out the Night Assailant and overlay into Zen Mains. Next we have our 2 interchangeable cards. You don't really need these. I've never needed to make these, so I just have them in here just because. Ghost Trick Alucard and Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. I would swap out the Exciton Knife for a Castel, but I don't have a Castel right now, and because he's stupid expensive, he's $10 for a super rare out of Duelist Alliance. But yeah, I would swap him out for a Castel. I would swap this out for a 101, but these have just been working for me right now, so this is what I run. And yeah, that rounds up the deck, guys. It's a 40 card main deck, like I said, and a full 15 card extra deck. I actually tend to not fill up my extra deck because I like to leave space in there for testing and stuff. But yeah, that's the deck. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and leave a request if you have one. Sean from Jive Ass Turkeys signing out.